Wow, you're not going to believe who I ran into today. Marcus, my old friend, Marcus. We hadn't seen each other in, at least 10 years? It's crazy. For a split second, I didn't even recognize him. Time does that, you know? It changes faces, adds a few lines here and there. But then he said my name in that same old way he always did, and boom, it was like we were kids again. Suddenly, I could almost feel the grass of the football field under my feet, hear us laughing until our sides hurt, dreaming about these big, wild futures we couldn't even really imagine. 10 years is a long time, but standing there in that park, it just melted away. He hit me with that classic question, the one everyone asks. So, how's life been? It sounds so simple, right? But that little question carries a whole decade of stories. And honestly, life hasn't been simple at all. There were some really tough seasons, some quiet battles I fought on my own, times when I genuinely felt lost and had no idea which way was up. But I decided to tell him the truth. The most important truth of my entire life. I told him that a couple of years back, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And from that moment on, everything changed. Now don't get me wrong, it wasn't like a magic wand got waved over my life. My problems didn't just vanish into thin air, and life didn't suddenly become this perfect, easy ride. The change was on the inside. Deep inside, I found this incredible peace. A real, solid peace that's almost impossible to describe unless you've experienced it yourself. It's the kind of calm that holds you steady even when the world around you is a storm. And the amazing thing is, Marcus saw it. He actually said to me, "You seem different, calmer, somehow happier." Hearing that from him, someone who knew the old me, meant more than he could possibly know. It was like a confirmation. It showed me that God doesn't just work on our hearts in secret. He lets that change shine bright enough for others to see too. As we kept talking, Marcus opened up a bit. He mentioned he'd been thinking a lot about life lately. Thinking about purpose, about what it all means. I could hear the questions in his voice, the same deep questions that used to weigh me down so heavily. And in that moment, I knew I didn't need to give him some big sermon or a theological lecture. So I just told him the simplest, most honest thing I could. Man, I'm here for you. No pressure, no agenda, just friendship. Sometimes the most powerful way to share your faith isn't with a lot of words, but just by being present, by showing up for someone. And then, just like when we were kids, the serious moment just broke, and we both started laughing. Some things really never do change. He insisted that a reunion this big couldn't happen without food, and he was absolutely right. So, we made a plan. Next Friday, we're having a barbecue. It's simple, it's ordinary, but for some reason, it feels so significant. It feels like the beginning of something new, something God is quietly and carefully arranging behind the scenes. Before we said our goodbyes, we just stood there for a minute, smiling at each other. Two old friends, gifted another moment together that neither of us ever expected. As I watched him walk away, this one thought just settled right into my heart. Sometimes, God brings people back into your life at the perfect time. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's an act of love. So, next Friday, we'll share a meal. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, God has something even greater in store. Thanks for listening to my story today. I'll catch you in the next one.